not gone, or not far. The esplanade is fresh and crisp in the empty early day. Waves play with the shingle. Ancient memories stir of a being that creeps up the beach to greet the people, then waves and fades again into the still deep bit out in the middle where it all springs from, where earth and sky alike fall into a great well, all heaving and swelling. And the stout Victorian railings, freshly dressed in a 20th coat of paint, bear a message of old men and memories, a poster for a festival of remembrance. Up in the hills I come to a bench, left in memory. Two young men sit in the sun contentedly. Where, I wonder, is the long man? It's along the top, they say. Somewhere. But it's hard to tell. You can't see it, but you know it's there. That's the place to be then. Well, presumably, you never know your luck. True enough, I move on refreshed. The old map's strong and clear, but a bit too big. It sticks from my pocket. A man, got up in sports shop gear, picks on it. You still use that? He challenges. Paths don't change, I say. Old ways remain. I smile into his eyes. He looks away, as if ashamed. On Sunday, free from labour, he may seek but not obtain release. This great grassy bowl lies open to the ocean. No, I'll try again. This great grassy bowl lies open to the coast. A giant broke it, tipped the running country into the ocean. On the rim, grim city folk watch model aeroplanes fly. I keep going. Stretched legs, lungs, eyes. The body's intricate motions sweep along. Link sensations flicker by, each rich in meaning, but smothered. Just a quick glimpse and it's gone. So let me feel my way in somehow, slowly, so I remember better. They wander aimlessly, the Sunday walkers, assuming resolute expressions or edgy grins. The main rule is do not invade. Look away and speak a greeting. I push on. It's warm for late autumn. The trees still have their leaves. The biosphere is heating up. That ties in with the feel of the people. We may be doing bad things to the planet, but this guy's vacant eyes say, hey, I'm doing myself in. Not as if I had any option. You kidding? Okay. What's that over there then? Earthworks? The long man, maybe. Spoiled though anyway. Pity. Nature's something rare and special, served up occasionally, an entertainment. We sit in cars to watch the sea. It's safer from behind the screen. Don't look at me, I'm just a spectator. Think when you first made love and said, yes, that's it. How could you tell? We remember back. The origins of life remain instinct within us. Instinct is remembering. Still, how easily we forget. And then it takes a great effort to learn again what came naturally till we disremembered it. Sent on errands, the kid sings his list in his head, constantly keen to be responsible. But then, walking to the shop, he's lost his liberty. The trees are not friends anymore. He does not dance with the wind. Instead, muscles clench in time to a recital of lifeless imperatives. Half a pound of egg, butter and a dozen eggs. Half a pound of butter and a dozen eggs. On a corner of a street he sees freedom slip away. Our birthright is an understanding that has nothing to say. No need for, it is so, I think it's so, I feel it right, we think this, and wrong, they don't. To constantly remember how I'm supposed to be, seem to be from over there, I must cut off from what comes to me here, unbidden. Raw living I must forget, must cover up against cold censure. And it got a lot worse when we bought the advertiser's story. 'Tis a peculiar world, this, where individuals consume their environment and that defines them. We fool ourselves pretty well. It's like the kid who's first himself when he lies to his mother. Because to do that properly, he must lie to himself. A coin is left upon a table. The kid takes it. Then he's closed off, disconnected, all alone. It's a cold feeling. Got to break it. So he buys sticks of licorice and eats till he's sick. Still, it nibbles. He's furious to block it out. Dreaming of the sweet shop, he thinks of school and quickly hides. It's awful. He's not treated right. It is his mother's fault. He knows this isn't true, but clings to it till he's cut off from himself too. Sin is disremembering. It seems helpful at the time, but then it gets ingrained. As a species, we have learned to lie to ourselves, each other, earth and sky. There's virtual reality, if you like. It's hot in the village here. This flint wall shimmers. It's a coral reef. Blotches of lichen are iridescent sea creatures. Meanwhile, I'm in the oven, getting well done. A matron comes by with discontented brood. She's turned them back to change their shoes. Standing still, I intrude. Discomforted, she grimaces. The shoes are strong, shop fresh fashion accessories. The kids love them, but she says they get scuffed. Gumboots will be easier to clean. So now their walk has a different meaning. Forget the living world. just keep up property and appearances. The countryside's a theme park, whose theme is country living. As we need a coat, if only for show, so we need this carapace, the place we stay. We've decided to forget where we came from and play silly games instead. Greed is great, said the man with the fanfares, big winner of the immigrant dream. He'd reached the state of grace that meets all needs the advertisers speak of. This was a miserable epiphany for the little gamblers who expiate their sin filling lottery slips, chucking money that gave such pain collecting to proclaim their adoration of the lash. In a dip by a river sits a fat little church. Worn gravestones go well with golden leaves. A dimpled village green enfolds it all. But here's an odd monument. It's an old iron globe in livid green, with writing on it flaking off that says, "It's a mine. Came up the river 50 years ago. Could have blown the whole place away." So it seeks donations for local amenities. Yes, stuff happens in a jumble and rushes by, gone before you know it. So you clutch and it slips from the fingers. You struggle to bring it back and get scattered again and again. Does your head in. Got to stop, so tell yourself a story. Cover up the hole. Console yourself with some pretense. Invest your motivation there. And then, on top, erect a consciousness you think you can control. That's false remembering. It helps. A bit, it does. A bit. So, in the end, we all remember properly. So there's nothing for it but to forget about that story that makes it all okay and just stop tripping yourself up. A world of things is out there, definitely. If this, then that. Yes, get the picture. Goes with the territory. And still and all, the story of the many things comes in a voice that conveys all sorts of other messages and morals about being me and such. Mostly I pay no attention to avoid feeling awkward. But sometimes, when I'm not bothered, I'll check the scene inside and not get caught up. And it's good when that happens. So I'm into helping it along. The trick is to settle into your skin, to that universe within the body. Breath is a silver thread, pierces the nostrils, twists down the neck, caresses the windpipe and slips into the pit of the belly. Then rising, it releases the muscles of the stomach, gently tugs the tension off. This rhythm's always with me. Fixing on it slows me, so I pick up also the rise and fall of voices, spinning lines, selling images. And it's just a rumble from another room, not the main show, because I've got a distance. A great swan sails along, spreading an incandescent fan. it's warming its tail end. So am I, sitting still, watching ripples glisten by, rapt. A pebble falls in water. It makes a hole. Circles form. The first is a direct response, the second more varied, and so on. If I let the eyes stray to the last fading wave, I forget the rest, so let it fall in the centre, and see the rings all together, steadily unfolding. The waveform flattens as it spreads, so each peak oversees the next. The energy fades slowly, and the bit in the middle doesn't stop till everything stops. The different levels are successive, yet present together. Understanding happens all in a big flash, then gets buried in a mess of reflections. To bring it back, to reconnect, stop. Reverse the train of thought. Remember the source. Then see the pattern whole. See it grow. A set of rings, an archer's target, a fresh bloom, a timid candle spreading in a warm, dark room. I came along the rim of the bowl, but returned a different way, across the bottom. So here I am, climbing the far side, up, up, and suddenly the sky's so big, deep, bright. I'm off in space. It's pulsating. Clouds swing by, collecting sunlight and letting it out proudly, like a baby smiling. The wind sings and buffets me. Church bells echo, community music to view the sunset by. That map fell from my pocket. I'll steer by the inside. It's over this hill, I guess. At the top, where next, I scan the scene. Here's someone. He's a grown man, a local, at home in his skin. He says, see that stile? Go right there, by the line of trees. Quiet passion lifts him. He relives the way bit by bit. It's a fair walk, then the path dips sharply to the sides of the trail. He draws an image in the air. He remembers and recalls to life a pattern that repeats. He rides the wave. The covers come off at sunset. Light and form erupt all across the womb of heaven. The fiery star illumines it. Photons bounce around, calling boisterously. Away from the sun, stray wisps of vapour unfurl in the current, swirl in delicate arabesques. Towards the sunset, fat clouds cluster, ridge upon ridge, rimmed with spiky mists. They spring from soft cups, lush valleys. Going down into the dip, I look back up the path to catch the last of the magic lantern. Yes, it is a day. Here we celebrate the pattern day. It opens, grows, fades and closes, and so the light finds its way from night to night. The cycle runs through birth and death. It's everywhere. In each knowing moment, a pulse comes, spreads, and dies away. It rises, it fades. Then, blow it down, there it is again. Never learn. No need to cling to the bits. Trust the pattern, get a distance. Remember the centre. The origin, ever present. This is it. Childhood in maturity, the Big Bang in the universe, breath in the body, or Christmas, if you like, a symbol of a perfect birth. That's it.
Well done. Great with Dave as well.
Sorry?
Great with Dave as
I loved it with Dave. It's really good to have no, it's really nice to have that kind of push. Yeah.
It's lovely, it was atmospheric.
You actually do it very rhythmically, don't you? So
Yeah,
the
yeah.
whole thing is
I could get more rhythmic if we got into the music.
yeah, well, that was the thing I could have done as well. I didn't want to kind of
Yeah.
try and impose a kind of thing on it though.
But it was just nice to try. It was really nice. Yeah.
Thank you. See you next time.
I think my sound levels varied dramatically. There we go.
So we might see you in January. We might.
Yes,
I think this is
the world's not going to end.
Yeah.
His world might end.
Who's next?
Who's next? Ricardo
I'll just get them in order.
is going to sing Lisa Weird and you're going to accompany him. Who's next? You're going to stand and sing along with him.
I could, because I love that song.
That was near Eastbourne, you know.
Was it?
I spent the night in Eastbourne and went up onto the Long Man is just behind Eastbourne. It's
Thanks everybody, have a lovely evening. I'll see you again soon.
nice, thank you.
See you.
Yeah.
And thanks, Jose, what fun.
Are we going to get the Excellentos?
I think it's going to be the Penny Craig. I think.
Are you want to play?
I think so. I think it's going to be Dick's. Is that right? Dick's number.
Okay.
That's what I think.
I think Richard's supposed to be going next.
Yeah. I don't know if he's doing it on his own or whether we're playing with him. I don't know.
What's
Oh,
the
he's
name?
not here.
What's the name of the band?
Well, at the moment, it's either Richard Healy or the Penny Craig Big Band. I'm not sure which of it is.
Richard, something shorter.
Richard Healy,
Richard.
H-E-L-E-Y.
H-E.
H-E-L-E-Y.
Sorry.
Healy.
I'll turn this off for a second.
It's getting warm here now.